Hi, Randy. Oh, I can't hear you. Not yet.
There we go. Sorry about that.
No problem. How are
How are
you?
y'all doing?
Good. Is it me, Dennis, Warren, and Ariel right now? I don't know.
Dennis, Ariel, and who?
Warren is here. He's
Oh,
our
hi, Warren.
proactive citizen that we call him. He's on the board, but he's just, you would never know. Just
Hey.
joking. No, the opposite. He's not on the board, but you would think he was.
Perfect. Good
I
to
don't know
see
who
you
else
all.
is showing up. If anybody else, I'm sorry.
Good to see you all.
Nice to see you too. First thing we want to ask you was about when we did our retreat, was there some stuff that was gonna be summed up for us like you did last time, or is that something we were supposed to do?
She just sent
Oh.
yesterday.
I didn't see that. I haven't checked my emails, so.
Sorry, it was certainly belated. We've been on the road a lot, but I sent it over last night. It's definitely a draft.
Okay.
You know, between notes and what I heard from folks and kind of the work that we did, that was my first shot. But if the trustees want to rearrange some of those priorities or the steps it would take to knock them out, then yeah, this, like I said, totally open to shuffling around. This is the first stab.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for doing that. We'll look at it later. We don't have to do it right now.
Sure.
I'll bring it up at the next board meeting.
Yeah, and just to be clear, there's no reason for Dola's recommendations to be in the packet.
Okay.
I sent those to the board, but it has some notes on water rates and stuff that might get people excited. The strategic tool itself can totally be in a packet and reviewed as a draft.
Okay. Oh, I see. She got it. She printed it already. Wow.
So while you're taking a look, I'll just I didn't choose to go get too direct in the strategic planning tool about resolving these grants, but noting that for some of them they're eligible for grant funding, and that this is a getting some of these, one of these three projects kind of moved forward is pretty critical to getting these projects funded or moving ahead. So I
Well,
think it kind of goes without saying, but I could be more explicit about calling that out in the strategic plan, since I was kind of thinking of it as like a 2025 sort of thing.
well, we have 4 grants right now going. One is the one that we're about to close out, which is the sewer meter grant. It is now totally complete and it should be closing out. We
Great.
just finished it the other day.
Right, the Brent, our ORC, talked to the vendor and asked the vendor to get the billing in as quickly as possible. He said he would do that, but it still sounded like it would be 3 weeks away, and that was from last week. So hopefully by
Great.
mid-November.
We'll
And we
have a
have
little
the-
party.
Oh, that'd be great. That's just the pre-party for the big party.
Yeah,
You get the
we can
other
have
ones.
3. It's okay.
Then we have the fire mitigation grant, which isn't with you guys, it's with Bricks, and we're working on that. That one actually is going really well.
Yeah, that one sounds like it's progressing great.
Yeah, it's nice to have somebody who actually is just on it all the time. That's all they do. And then we have under the building, our grant, it's a match 50/50 grant, I think. For
I think it was, yeah.
And we're talking about trying to keep that to the absolute minimum and do as little as needed, is what we talked about, because that way we're not putting out so much money and then we can just get that grant done. But we probably won't be able to do it until spring because, of the underground, water tends to freeze and then it raises and lowers the ground and you wanna do it when it's soft, is what I'm hearing.
Well,
Okay.
we could talk about that, but to be able to put those concrete pads in and successfully get them in there, we would have to get below what would be the frost line anyway.
Think
So,
so? That
yeah,
deep? Oh.
yeah. Otherwise, then this cycle would repeat itself next,
Oh, I see what you mean.
through the next
Right,
year.
okay.
The engineer had given, two conceptual drawings, showing the location of, where the concrete pads would go, and then some, beams that would be perpendicular to the joist in two
Uh-huh.
locations. And, what we need to do is write some specifications, requests for bids. And I don't think it's gonna be a very expensive project, because it's been whittled down quite a bit. But after our last experience with the engineering and the bid for the sewer project, I wanna make sure that we're writing them correctly. And, so we're following your rules and regs. And make that
Yeah,
clear.
and that one won't be quite as prescriptive because of the nature of those funds. We're not, we really just require for that one that you, it's public. Um, so, not quite as many details in that one that we're too worried about, but what's
We
that?
already went off for, proposal on that one too. The problem was that we weren't sure if we had to redo both of them. Because we had one that didn't include like a CDBG, advertisement, so we were gonna do that one again, the one for the sewer, but the one for the building, we already went out for bid, or not bid, but we went out for a proposal on that. We got one assessment.
That was the one you guys put out at the same time,
Correct.
or you guys put that out a while ago?
It was the one that you provided the template for, and I just like filled in the date. And it was a request for, not proposal, it was a request for,
Qualification.
specifications or qualifications, yeah.
Yeah. So in looking at those, what it seemed like to me was that the request for qualifications was for like an engineer of record. A town will often do requests of qualifications where an engineer is going to provide like an hourly wage and what kind of projects that they've worked on. So that would be for sort of someone that you have on retainer, like an attorney.
Well, we
So I
do
didn't
have,
see anything specific about the town hall in there. I don't know. I mean, I remember back when we were looking at Cottonwood Bridge and starting with some of the sewer project, it seems like you guys did have an engineer of record.
we do, we have an engineer and my thought would be to have them come in and do like an initial assessment. And then I don't know how much it would actually end up costing us to have them do that. I mean, it could be, what do you think, it would be under $5,000?
Are you talking about for the building?
Mhm.
He's already done it,
Oh, you already did it.
yeah.
Oh, so then
Yeah.
what? So then we
All
just
we
need to
need
go.
to do is take the information that he's given us. And, I can use that to be able to write specifications for advertisement for a contract.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Contractors,
Okay,
and away we go. Now, you just make sure that they, of course, the typical things that insured references, I don't know what else, qualifications, like projects maybe.
Yeah, I think the statutory language is the highest qualified, or the lowest, not the highest. Lowest, no, I'm gonna mess up the language. There's something about qualified in there, so you don't necessarily have to go with like the lowest rate. You have to go with the lowest rate that is best for your community.
I'm gonna turn the screen so you can see everything.
So for engineers, that has to do with, like, for example, for the sewer project, you're going out for a specific RFP for a specific project because you need them to have experience managing CDBG grants, right? But in general, for an engineer of record for Crestone, you would need, you'd want them to have some experience with bridges and water and sewer enterprises, even if they weren't, say, the lowest rate. So I think
Where is that?
sorted, if you've got that designed, I think it might just muddy the waters to go out for anything else at the same time. I would just probably just do the RFP, and there is in the packet, that grant information packet that I provided. It's really a very short one. Which is to say that is all we're requiring. It doesn't necessarily need to be like, one of the engineering firms said they wouldn't know what the project is. So we might want to just include the scope of the CDBG grant or something about, here's what we're looking to have designed.
So designed, I'm sorry, are we moving on to the sewer now?
No, sorry, I just got a little bit sidetracked by the RFP. So, for the town hall improvements, are we kind of just focusing on foundation work?
Yeah,
Okay.
Could it be used to work on the apartment?
she's asking, Ariel's asking if it could be used to work on the apartment. I thought we couldn't, I mean, the window up there is cracked probably because of the foundation. One of the windows, because it's settled on this side over, on the east side of the building. Can we do things like that? Like replace windows that are cracked from that?
For like the flooring?
So the work description does have leveling of the floor, repairs to windows, and wall treatments
Okay,
of the apartment. So it says, right now, its work includes repairs and remodeling in the meeting room, basement, and upstairs apartment.
oh,
Work in and under the meeting room includes removal of supporting column, reinforcing the existing floor, insulating the ceiling, placing new floor joists, installing a new portal frame, construction of the dais. Wow, I think money was really stretching a lot further back when we awarded this grant.
that's for sure.
There's no way you're going to get all that done, especially if you're
No.
reducing your match. So let me look.
Well, maybe what we'll do is, we can pick the stuff that is crucial, which is really getting that foundation from sinking more. You know, it's doing okay now, but as the water comes up, it starts to wear away at it, is what I understand. Is that right? Yes. The water's not channeled properly, and so we
Okay.
can use our engineering to do that, and then we could add in the windows, because those should be fixed, and then maybe some of the a little bit of the remodeling. And then call it.
Yeah, if just the foundation doesn't cost you 96K.
No,
You'll have
no.
you'll have the match in the this year's budget, didn't you?
This year's budget, we did have it.
Yeah, I think I saw it. I just pulled it up yesterday. So, I mean, you'll know that when you get bids, but I should amend the contract
Okay,
because we're
hard?
not delivering, I mean, inflation has been absolutely outrageous, but we're not delivering what we said we were gonna deliver when we applied for the fund.
Can you just, I mean, how hard is that to just say that we're gonna scale it back quite a bit just to follow You know,
We'll just,
inflation.
when you get estimates or when you go out to bid
Okay,
for the construction firm, we'll go from there.
okay.
But we'll need
Can you
to,
give-
more than extend like you just did with the other one, we'll need to say, well, we're changing the work description to XYZ.
And can we carry this grant over into next year's budget? Does that just get carried over? How does that work?
I think we wouldn't be able to get it bid out and even started by the time before this year ended.
I know, well, that's what I mean, that's why I want to be able to carry it over.
It looks like it was executed in 2022, so we technically have 3 more years.
Oh,
By statute, we can extend out to 5 years, and 5 years is when the contract dies.
okay, and then would we put the match in just at the same until it gets changed, or what?
The match will be 50%, even if you go over
Cut.
budget, the match that you're responsible for the remainder. If we're under budget, we share the savings. So if you
Okay.
did something for $80,000, you'd end up de-obligating whatever it is, $6,000.
Wait, I thought, what is the match, sorry? What is the match?
The match will be 50%, whether we're at budget, under budget, or over budget. Well, over budget, I mean, you're responsible for the overage.
Okay,
But it'll be, if you are under budget, so you spend less than 96,000 some odd dollars, then we're still paying just 50% of whatever invoices. So
I
that
thought you
means
said
you'd,
something like 6,000, when it wouldn't it be, if it was 80, it would be 48?
yeah, just for an example. So if you spent 80,000, we'd both put in 40.
Okay,
And then you'd have 6,000 or whatever it is left on the contract, and you de-obligate those funds.
okay, and I'm wondering if we had that invoice from the engineer, that when we originally did the.
I
that should
think,
be-
we awarded this when that had already been done.
Okay, so that doesn't.
So it doesn't have a line item for design work,
Okay,
So
just construction.
there was approximately $5,200 expended by the town that I'm assuming has not been reimbursed with the half of that.
Let me check for sure. But I don't think so, because I think that was spent before we went under contract, so it wouldn't be eligible even if it was.
Not for
Ineligible
the
expense.
engineering, I'm talking about work actually.
No, it looks like no requests for reimbursement have been made on this one.
Okay, so if legitimate work were done, is it reimbursable still?
Yep, anything that's under that project scope as exists, I put it in that memo. This doesn't expire until June of next year. We'll need to keep an eye on that, probably extend it. Or we can fast track it and make sure we get done by June 1st of next year, but that might be a little silly.
Warren. Well, what work was done? When you said some work was done?
Well, I was just trying to
Yeah.
see which budget I saw it in, but I believe it's
Engineering.
52, no, I don't think it was engineering, I think it was work done by town staff.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, interesting, okay. I always thank Warren for finding things like that are very obscure that we.
That's, yep. Gotta have it. Warren, can you work on all those invoices from the sewer meter project? Those have been real sneaky to track down.
They should be right at our fingertips as much as we've been in and out of that. But here's
Right.
a stress condition assessment report from SGN
Cool.
with photos and a whole bunch of lot.
Okay. So we take that, yeah.
So do you
What's
have
the
a
date on that, Dennis?
Yeah, okay.
One second. The date is 10/3/22.
Well, that was after we executed the award, but for whatever reason, it's not under this grant as an eligible expense.
Maybe when Leslie was doing it, she just said that we're gonna pay for the engineering.
Right, and then,
We're gonna get some idea what the work was gonna be done to apply for the grant.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
But we can use that, you wanna work on that a little bit?
Yes.
Figure out what we can, you know. Tell Ariel what we're gonna do, and then you can add in the stuff that you think needs to be done, remodeling of the upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll be gone for a week. It'll take me that long to go through this and then, so just think about it, or if it's something just email me or whatever. And we'll throw it in there.
And then just keep in mind that we have to come up with half of it, so, you know, we're trying to keep it minimal, but still get some stuff done,
Okay.
as long as it's in the grant. And then once we go out for bid and receive, or not bid, but once, is it bid, it's a proposal?
No, we'll go out for bid on this.
Oh, we'll go out for bid, okay. Then we'll tell you, Randy, and then you can go back and change the.
You wanna see the
scope a little bit?
The request for going out for bid before we do it?
no, as long as you guys feel confident that the whole board's on board with, a sort of the scope,
Okay.
or you run it by them or whatever. I don't really care about.
As far as
What?
grant administration, we can do it ourselves.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, cause we
Yeah,
kinda
it's
do
much
this.
simpler than CDBG. It'll be easy. I mean, basically, once it's just a matter of submitting invoices once the contractor's up and running and we get the scope finalized and amended in the contract if need be.
Cool. All right, we feel comfortable about that one?
I do.
Okay, good. Next one is the one that at the last meeting, I asked about. I mean, you can tell that we're constantly trying to pass this, sewer grant off onto somebody else.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but we talked about it a little bit at the last meeting and, you know, with inflation and everything, I mean, we're probably gonna get about 40 feet of sewer. It's not gonna cover 20 people. I don't think it ever was gonna cover 20 people. But you had said that wasn't really part of, for some reason, we got kind of like a sign off on that we didn't have to actually hit 20 people or something like that. I remember.
No, we just need to improve the sewer system essentially because it has this federal, what are called national objectives. So you get the funds purporting to do something that benefits low income people.
Okay.
So that it's not really tied to the number, it's tied to sort of the general purpose of the grant, which was to improve the sewer system.
Okay.
So I think if we can just find a way forward, I'll be really doing everything that I can do to push it through and just get it done.
Well, ideally, we would like to have kind of, somebody who could come in and do not only the grant management and administration, but also do the engineering, environmental, as well as the work itself. I mean, the all-inclusive, all-in-one thing.
Yes, that's exactly what we need.
Right.
So them to say, here's what you could do.
Right.
For 400K.
Right.
And then do the corresponding environmental clearance. That is a requirement of going under contract for the construction.
Okay, and they can usually, or you had mentioned that there are companies that will do that particular thing, they will do all of it. We just have to be really clear in our RFP.
Yeah, you guys didn't move forward with any of those proposals.
No, because you said that they didn't have, I mean, so there was two of them. One was from Davis and one was from SGM.
SGM.
The SGM one was more expensive, but they do have the experience with the grants. They have, 150 people on staff.
Sure.
But we didn't put that in the proposal, so now we're stuck either rewriting it or, because I don't know if Davis will actually go out for proposal again if they know that we have CBDG, whatever it is,
Yeah. I haven't worked
grant.
with either of them on CDBG, and that certainly doesn't mean they can't.
So
But
the-
it's
the
very
difference-
important for you guys to pull this off, to have that capacity.
Sure. And I just know that SGM said that they have literally 150 people on staff and everybody to do whatever we want them to do. It's just a matter of, actually, will they do the construction too?
No.
No, okay, so it's just, okay, so that's different.
I have a question. Do you know the total amount of that, what's left on that grant money for us?
400.
480. 480 is what we're carrying.
And that's for the project, construction, design and construction.
And environmental.
No. Let me dig it up.
So 25 feet.
So it's under contract right now for 120K of,
Five, something like
well,
that.
and that's what really complicated it. Generally, you don't go under contract until you have your EA done. So that money was intended for the environmental assessment and the project design. But half of it was spent
How did
on the sewer on the sewer lines. So
They were.
that might, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, when Leslie was here, she, that was her thing, was to kind of tie things into the grants that might not be exactly what the grant was supposed to be for, but she figured that she could get away with it. Now we're stuck with it.
Well, yeah, right. It's a great thing to do when you have I&I issues. I mean, it was critical for you guys to do it, so maybe it doesn't really matter. What does matter though is that, so whatever 120 minus 55 is, so
400. 400.
The I&I, you're subtracting the 55,000 from the 120?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's Friday.
You have to pay for that?
Not any good at math today.
So, yeah.
So that's gonna leave you 65K.
Have we already
There
spent?
is a 65K for the project, for the design.
For the design and the environmental. Like, we can't release the funds. The environmental is intended to get this release of funds letter that says, hey, we're not gonna contaminate the entire town or, dig up a burial ground or whatever. And that triggers going under contract for the construction, for which we have 480.
So can we have SGM do that environmental study?
What
Yes.
about but what about the baseline engineering that was previously done?
The baseline, sorry.
So.
Oh, the work that was previously done. So that's another big question mark. Like, we definitely don't want to redo any work, but we've never seen an invoice or have no idea whether or not any of this design exists out there. It would be great if it did. I don't know who paid for it. So it's kind of almost like, I mean, one perspective is that you had to do the scoping anyway.
The scoping is done and paid for.
And there was
Yeah.
also, too, right?
It was paid for by us though.
Right, so it was paid for by you.
And that is the piece that's the kicker. That's what has to be returned if we don't find a way forward.
So only 55,000 has actually been spent by you so far. And if baseline did work and the town paid for it,
That's more money we can get reimbursed.
you can either get it reimbursed
Or,
or you can kill the project and only
At
get
55.
55,000 instead of 120. Right?
is that right?
What about the,
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
So. All right, I'll let, yeah.
I believe baseline engineering did engineering work related to the sewer. And they were either paid by you or paid by the town. It doesn't look like it was paid by DOLA, so therefore it looks like the town paid it. Leaving this, only the 55,000 that would need to be reimbursed to DOLA if we were to kill this project today. If the money,
That's right.
if the baseline work is done and usable, then we can get 65,000 reimbursed to the town under DOLA if it's usable.
In coordination with all the rest of the grant, like if we use it for the grant and then we
proceed forward?
proceed forward.
Well, I mean, I'm
So
just,
yes, technically yes, but my hesitation is that we still wouldn't then have an EA, which this money was intended for.
right.
Because they said, oh wait, we have to do the environmental, well, we can't afford that. So we issued a partial contract for that reason.
Question for you guys, do you think that because this was I, jetting and scoping, this could come out of the money that we put aside for
Capital improvements.
capital improvements?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you, jetting, scoping and repair.
Cause then we could just call
We had jetting, scoping and
it
repair.
65 and repair. Oh yeah, so it is basically capital improvements, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I,
Well,
like I've said, that is, you could sort
As
of
in-
consider that just like a bummer, but a routine maintenance
yeah.
expense that all sewer systems eventually have to.
So we were going off the fact that it was 120 originally, so to hear that it's only 55 is a lot better. I mean, that's 65,000,
But if we can turn it around and collect the 65 grand, that makes it even better, yeah.
but could we collect it because,
But did
If we're not-
baseline do the E&A because nobody sees,
I don't know, I mean, Leslie did,
So,
you know?
But if we aren't moving forward with some kind of sewer sewer improvement, then you'd owe the baseline back if we reimbursed it.
If we did, but we wanna know that who paid for it. I can't find an invoice from baseline. Can you find anything from baseline on yours? I mean,
No, we don't have anything from baseline.
so really.
I searched long and hard.
I'm sorry?
I searched long and hard.
Okay, so you guys only put out 55,000 and that's really what would be reimbursable.
Yes, if we
Reimbursed.
walk away from the project, Crestone owes the state 55 some odd $1,000 for the scoping.
That's a lot better than we thought, and that's.
Yeah, I don't,
And it's something we needed, so I mean, yeah, it might have been way more expensive than we would like to pay, but we did find some I. Making Warren happy, that makes me
yeah,
happy.
right. There was a lot of repairs and a lot of work done because of that scope. But
Yeah.
that's a huge blow to
Crestone.
the fund balance for as small as it is for you guys. And this would be a no-brainer to just deobligate the funds if nothing had been spent, because it's just not, we just don't have a agreed upon scope to move forward.
But, so here's my input on this. Baseline engineering, as I recall, quoted $900 a linear foot for the sewer line in their work. And I didn't focus on what they actually did. It's the number that's in my head about things. So they must have done something in the engineering way, and we must have paid for it out of the Crestone general fund, or water and sewer, one of the two. If they did the E&A study back then, is it still valid? Would be one question, and two,
I'm almost sure that didn't happen. But yes, I think so, but that would require more conversation from the folks that issue those.
okay, and then you said that the national objective is serving low-income folks. But if we use $900 a foot, the current engineering, if the baseline is no good, is running between $96,000 and $120,000. So you're left with, let's call it, 360, which is 380. And $900, you're down under 500 linear feet of pipe. That's a block and a half.
It'd be about 300 feet.
Okay. It's one block, serving no one. Is that the purpose, or is that acceptable?
No, the purpose was what you,
Yeah, but the purpose was 6,200 and something linear feet of pipe, which this would have never done to begin with. You know, putting all that aside.
So the only thing is, if you go up Galena, there's a lot of more possibilities for people to tap, like Matthew Clark. He's probably on a septic, so he could tap on one side. There's Elaine and Steve have lots going up, and then there's a few more commercial lots going up on the left. It would be probably the most options out of any of them, because they're only 25-foot lots, and it would, you know, it would also help with commercial development as well on that side, on one side of the street. So my point is that I think we could find a way to use it. But we already spent $55,000 to improve our system by doing the INI, getting the whatever. So even though they spent it and we're supposed to reimburse it, you know, I think that we should consider just reimbursing it and get out of this thing. It's just, there's no,
Except that you paid baseline something.
we did, so we have to find that, but at least, it obviously wasn't paid for by them, so at least we paid it already.
Well, if that, then we also have to have something for what we paid for. There has
Well,
to
I
be-
have like an improvement scope from them,
There's a whole report.
based on, I have a 7-page thing. It's.
yeah,
From
We got an
them.
email about
There was no
that.
invoice with that, huh? I'm not seeing any, I see an independent contractor agreement that is not signed.
So what's the date on that?
That was, so the contractor agreement was. There's no. Shall be, it's blank, it just says 2022. The scope was. There's no date.
Hmm.
Deliverables, assumptions
No,
and
see it.
exclusions, it's, let me just see it.
But
I mean,
I think, Benji, I think we're in the same email, and that exhibit A, the project and scope is like exactly right for what we needed.
correct, so they did something,
Except I don't see an environmental assessment, but it was only, I don't know, like $30,000 or something.
All right, there's exhibit A, baseline, scope of services.
I'll
Oh,
still have a
there's some-
contact at baseline.
No, we use SGM is our only real engineering I did find something here, project kickoff. First step after notice to proceed, 3,600. Primary field work, 14,500. Preliminary design, 16,200. And final design, 6,000. Phase support. I found that, so what is that? Did we spend all that?
Well, so I'd sent that over because we had gotten that draft agreement, and that's the last we ever heard from this project. So what I assumed was that the board didn't accept.
Right, that's what I think too.
Well, probably the quickest way is just call Baseline and ask them if they've ever done an environmental study for a sewer project.
It wouldn't be environmental, it would be something else, because it'd be number,
Isn't
Yeah,
what
that-
you asked?
Invoice was just for CDBG management and project design. It didn't include the environmental assessment, and maybe that was the wrench. And when the town realized that they weren't going to be able to pull off the assessment. Because the original intention was to spend the $600,000 on this sewer line extension and cover the engineering and design stuff, but the environmental assessment bumped it to where the town couldn't afford it, so they elected to, at that time, to pull 120 over to engineering and design and E EA.
How much is the environmental assessment cost? I'm not a
I'm
number.
kind of hesitant to answer because things are just insane right now. I mean, we've seen them cost 30,000-40,000, but I don't know if that's way off and if those have, blown
And
up
it's only-
too.
And it would only relate to the area that's being, excavated. So we're talking about 300 to 600 feet of roadway.
Yeah, right. That's the hard part, is that you kind of need the project design to take place where they're saying, hey, this is feasible for this much money and this is what we ought to do. And then you're getting an environmental assessment for that work. The inflation keeps going. We'll only have to do like a 10 by 10 foot environmental assessment. It should be pretty cheap. Be the only cheap part. Now, I am a little bit, something I hadn't thought about is that I'm a little bit concerned that we couldn't cover anything over the remainder of the engineering portion of the grant if,
So it's 65,000 and we're gonna be spending 120. We're on the hook for that 60,000.
55.
you're not on the hook for, well, you're on the hook for whatever you spend if you don't end up doing an improvement. But so we've already spent 55,000, so the remainder, the 65,000 or, yeah. If that doesn't cover design and environmental, then that's gonna be Crestone's expense. So that's something I really thought about, but needs to be
Oh, yeah.
considered.
I see,
Because-
yeah,
I guess, it's not entirely impossible to transfer some more funds to the contract or do another engineering contract, but then you're whittling down the construction money even more.
Randy, we're really, I mean, I hate to say this, but I think the board, everybody's kind of doesn't really wanna do this, we kinda wanna get out of it.
I feel very similar. I'm just having a really hard time swallowing sending you guys a bill for 55,000 because that is not what we do,
Again,
you know?
I understand that, but I mean, if there's a way that you can get us out of it, that'd be great, but if you can't, then we
I
have. to-
tried.
I mean, and the thing is, like I said, we benefited from that 55,000, it's not like we didn't, benefit, and we
Sure.
might have been able to find a cheaper jetting and scoping, we might have been able to find some cheaper repair work, but we still, we still got a lot out of that, actually. It
So
was helpful.
Adam keeps bringing up the possibility that the balance of the funds could be transferred to Baca Water and Sewer as a contribution towards their facilities that we share. Is that a possibility or not possible?
If they, so like a system development fee that gets used later for like a future wastewater treatment plant, probably not. If they have an expense that they can use it on, that's pretty shovel ready, I think we could probably get that through.
Well, you said shovel ready, but then they were shovel ready at Living Wisdom and they didn't have that, the.
You still
complete
have to get
environmental-
environmental clearance, yeah.
Right, but if they've got a project that they're doing, then it needs the environmental work, that's fine. But
Then that-
you're moving 480,000, whatever that number is, over to them, lots of goodwill,
I see, yes,
and we don't have to pay back the 55,000.
I see.
How much, I got two questions. How much time do we have left on this? 3 years, you said? 3 more years?
Yeah, we have at least, let's see, 2022. Yeah, 2027-ish.
So, but they would be faced with the same issues that we have here now.
Unless they have a project that's shovel ready.
Pardon me?
Unless they have a project that's literally, like they wanna work on, they would accept the money. If they have something that's, I mean, and that means that we would have to, not only are we negotiating this contract with them, but we'd have to negotiate something with them and see how we could put money towards one of their projects that carries over and is considered a capital.
Right.
contribution To their.
I mean, at some point, let's just, pay back the 55 and then add 55 to a future CDBG request when we have something figured out.
Right,
Yeah, this has gotten too dirty. It's gotten too dirty.
yeah. So we would have to get board approval, I think, to kill it, but obviously, and I think, I mean, I seriously think it could come out of our capital improvement fund that we've been accumulating. I know that, I mean, you don't think so?
Yes, I think it could come out of that fund. I also think that, broken record, $150,000 to $200,000 was misappropriated from the water and sewer fund into the general fund over the last few years. I have a problem with that psychologically. Not that, if we make a cut and say, past is past, the hell with everything.
Misappropriated as in how?
Okay.
This is a long story.
So, misappropriated. Funds were being taken from water and sewer to pay the salaries of the town hall personnel and the, public works personnel, randomly and having no justification for costs truly related to water and sewer. Our municipal code says that monies can't be transferred from those funds. Now, maybe there's a technicality that they felt was
Okay.
reasonable.
Just making sure there wasn't anything I needed to know about.
Yeah.
But
If you're talking about misappropriation, I believe that's gone on too.
It was the way that they were, originally, we had two funds, and they were like, if our clerk, say or our treasurer was billing or doing work,
Sure.
it was a reimbursement, but it definitely wasn't exactly what it should have been back in the day. There was,
sure.
it could
I
have been
mean,
less.
it's pretty common practice, especially if you have a policy that says Public Works does 50% of their time over at the water plant. That's okay. You do just want to be careful about intermingling funds, but I don't have very many communities who haven't at some point or the other had to move around funds. It's not, it's not what you're supposed to
We were
do.
never making it to enterprise status ever, so we were always supplementing that fund, no matter what.
No,
Sure.
Yeah, we never had enterprise status.
yes.
You think we did?
Randy, I have a question. What would be the proper way for us to just kill this project.
They're 55 million.
No, I mean, not the payback of the money, but I mean to just bring it up to the board and bring it forward to.
Yeah, it would need to be a roll call vote just because of the optics. So we would have to vote to arrange for the reimbursement and deobligate the remaining funds.
Okay.
And then I would have to find, I don't think we've ever had to do this or not in anyone's recent memory, so we'd have to figure out from HUD how exactly that all works and
What was that wording you used to arrange for the reimbursement of the funds and
to
deactivate the?
deobligate the remainder of the funds.
Are you taking notes on that? Okay.
And I have I think I have a proposed motion in that memo packet too. If you need it to reference.
Well, that makes a big difference. It's more than half of what we thought we owed, so I'm really happy about that. I'm not so happy that we can't do anything with this, but I'm also relieved quite a bit.
Yeah, it's getting the monkey.
Same.
I mean, because then we can move on. I mean, we gotta get these.
Right.
Done. Move on.
And you can move on and you're still eligible for CDBG, and when the project makes sense, you know, it's a zero match grant that
Yeah.
if
Well,
something,
there's definitely in our contract that we haven't signed yet with, the Water and Sanitation District. We're gonna be obligated to help chip in on whatever improvements they make. We're trying to work it out so that when the time
Yeah.
is right, that it's the right percentage. It's not, cause that's the biggest issue. They're growing faster than us, so, but there's. for
we'd
our
wanna
percentage,
probably directly fund them.
Yeah,
Well, no, you'd have to because districts aren't eligible for CDBG. So that might be a viable path. Also, the water storage that you guys are discussing
right.
is eligible. New water tank.
okay. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
we
I don't see
outside
why
of-
the bridge wouldn't be eligible, even though that's gonna be a heck of a whole lot more than 600K.
So what we're thinking about doing with the bridge right now is waiting until we find out what, if they get to the point where they're like, well, we gotta condemn the bridge. And we're gonna maybe just turn it into a pedestrian,
There you go.
for the time being, and then we can always improve it later. So it just be pedestrian until, you know, we figure out how to come up with enough money to fix it.
You
And-
guys
and-
were
and the problem-
looking to diversify revenue. You could do a ferry there.
How does that work?
Just Ariel can get down there and just charge people $5
Oh,
for every
right,
crossing.
that. Yeah, we talked about trolls. We have a lot of trolls around.
That's a good idea too. That's a tourist attraction.
Yeah, and
You know?
everybody wants Halloween every day here, so we just,
Yeah, right.
can't cross without a costume and, that whole thing.
Yeah, that's,
What's that?
your trustees are
Yeah.
already volunteering a lot. I think it's a great idea.
But I mean, it's not, what I'm thinking is that if it's a pedestrian bridge, there's gonna be some happy people, some not happy people. But we could just hold off until we get to the point where we're like, okay, this has come along, we can fix this thing. The problem that we have is if we follow a state or federal grant, the regulations are so intense that we're gonna have to widen it and make it into something that nobody's gonna want. So it's like, it's a catch-22 for us.
Yeah, I kind of looked into some of the IIJA funds that only have a couple years left, and it's just kind of outrageously complicated that I don't think y'all are ready for another huge
Maybe some rich
capacity
person
grant.
will build a house on the other side over there and we'll pay for the bridge.
I don't wanna go down the bridge rabbit hole too far, but you said that the bridge might be eligible for the CBGB grant money. Is it limited to the 600 thousand minus the 55, or, oh, be open to the whole six?
No, that's, what I was saying was that if we find that it's just, we can't move forward with the sewer improvement grant, then we pay back the 55. And then when a project makes sense, you can apply for CDBG funds for that project, starting, clean slate.
Yeah,
So that's, generally, unless there's extenuating circumstances, those are limited to 600. We've done a handful for 800 and one for $1 million as a result of having some funds that needed to be spent, or they were going to go back to the feds for
Okay,
DOLA. So,
if we could repair that bridge for under $600,000, then CBG, this same grant, new clean one, would possibly work
yeah, that's right.
without all of the baggage of the feds and the, DOT.
Oh no, there's going to be baggage.
Okay. Besides the environmental study.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
any project, design and engineering required. And these funds do require the environmental. The environmental and the Davis-Bacon requirements are your trade-off for no match. I mean, it is what it is.
That's fine, that's not a problem.
If you have a match, the town hall grant and the sewer meter grant are energy impact assistance funds, which are state funds, which do not require those things.
Okay,
But
so
they do require 50% match, so pick your poison.
All right, well, let's move on, because in actuality, we need to take a breath after this sewer grant gets done, and then and we clear out the wastewater meter grant, and we figure out this town hall thing, and then we can take a little breath for a second. It's not
And don't forget about our party.
the party. Yeah, how do you wanna do that?
You say take a breath.
We're having a party on November 8th at the Cloud Station. There's a really good artist coming.
Ooh, see, there you go. Well, let's
Carson.
get them all three closed out by November 8th then.
When you say take a breath, what do you mean?
I mean, instead of looking for new grants and trying to let's take
Well,
a little bit of time in between grants.
sure,
Really,
and do the
yeah.
work that we worked on a couple weeks ago with the strategic tool
We just have
and
a
do
lot
the
on.
grants according to how you prioritize and take the steps that, get those top 4 priorities accomplished.
Right. You see what I'm saying? I mean, do you wanna just rush right into something new?
Oh, I don't think it's a rush, I think it's just keeping momentum going on things that have worn out. We still need to repair.
Well, that's fine. I do think that the 25,000 that you're trying to get for the repairs on the water stuff, that has to be going, like, we have to go through that. I'm talking about the big grants, like the bridge,
Okay.
or even looking for
Yeah.
money for improving let's take a breath. All the other smaller stuff, I definitely want to continue.
Yeah, okay, I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna kill everything.
No. We should not kill everything. We have to.
I like that plan.
What's that?
I like that plan. We need to, keep Crestone fiscally healthy, and a grant is a tool to do that. For the most part. So we just need to sort of keep working on the strategic planning and capital planning and making sure that they make sense and that everyone's on board, which we
Right.
didn't do a very good job of in the past, and it shows.
So, we'll, what did you call it? I was gonna say disembowel. Cut the head off of the sanitary sewer grant and, but we'll pay back that 55. We'll be wrapping up the sewer flow meter thing here in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
And then, we'll get the specifications going for the structural work underneath this building.
Yep.
Here, and, so we'll be in, hopefully we'll be in
Better
pretty good shape then.
Yeah,
And then we could jump into 25 with the hopes of, getting something to help us with the upgrade for the electrical.
Right, and it sounded like those are really ready to go, so that would be a good one to
Yeah.
get back on the
Yeah.
horse, you know?
and then do we put the 55,000 in the 25 budget or is it 25 budget?
I
That's
guess
kind of
do
up
we
to
do
y'all.
it wouldn't matter now or.
It does, because
It does because of the supplemental.
it wasn't in the budget, so therefore you'd have to do another supplemental budget after you've already
Right.
done the supplemental budget. And you have to put it in the 25 budget because it's not in there currently.
Yeah, so that's not a big deal.
Was it not on that appendix, the appendix
I think the
project?
whole grant was,
The whole grant was, but paying it back wasn't.
and the whole grant was, put in as an
Oh, that's right,
appendix.
that's right, yeah, I'm wrong.
As though we were gonna receive it. Was it, did it have both sides on
It has that both
it? Yeah, it has
sides,
to have
but
both sides. In this case, it's not gonna have both sides, it's just gonna be one side.
in this case, I think there's more issues, but that's not Randy's problem.
Well, we'll probably have to do another supplemental budget for 24 anyway.
No. Not for 24.
But if we go over the spending, we would.
It's not overspending, it's spending for things that are not budgeted,
Okay, I got it.
or you took in more money than you budgeted.
Okay.
That's a simple.
So we just need to add that, and that 55,000 is an accurate amount?
It's 55 and change.
Sorry, it's in that memo. I don't have it off the top of my head.
We'll
It's
find
not an even 55, it's 55.
Let's see, memo.
55,939.93.
56.
56-ish.
Okay. Well, that was very helpful for all of us. I think we're able to now proceed with the next steps. You're happy to do
Oh, yeah.
that's your thing.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about the sort of thing, which is good. That was kind of a pain in the butt. I'm happy, Randy. Yeah, it should never happen. I mean, these past few years have been a serious, I would say, kind of a growth spurt, but it's like painful growth spurt.
Sure. I know that you've been doing so much work. I mean, this is gonna be it's a little painful, but it's great to just, have folks that are responding and working on getting there. Doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're definitely making progress.
I do too.
We have somebody working on our books we're really excited about, who's just top notch as far as I can tell. Seems like, at least 23 and 24 are gonna be.
Beautiful.
good. And then
Well,
22.
put the strategic tool on the next agenda.
Yeah,
Holler at me, however they want to adjust it. And I think that if we can aim to sort of do that every fall during budget season to sort of get things
Yeah.
crossed off, and that's kind of a really good way to mark progress. So
well, we really enjoyed it. It was super helpful.
Ariel, are you?
I did too.
For the next. And then you would put in for killing the, and then we just have to make a motion for that.
yeah, make sure it includes disemboweling.
Disembowel.
I like that. I think I'm gonna have them change it.
Every now and then I come up with something.
So we're gonna have to order these special tools for disemboweling.
Yep.
got it.
You got it already.
All right, folks.
Well, thank you, Randy, and
Of
we'll
course.
see you soon when we, for our party.
Let me know. I can probably hop on for that both of those discussions. So
Okay,
just holler. All right,
Okay.
thanks all. Have a good day, good weekend.
You too.
You too.
Yep, thank you.
Bye, Randy.
Bye, Randy.
Done deal?
Not done deal, yeah, close, huh?
Is
Wanna
that
make sure-
good? Or-
Will you stop recording?
I just